What's good, YouTube? It's your main man, AB the Hero, back again with another video. And in today's video, we're talking about Lamelo Ball's NBA debut. We're gonna break it down, recap it, and at the end of this video, you should know why we seen Lamelo with 0 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists. And you should have a clear understanding of if this kid is going to be a bust. Should you be concerned? What are some things that you should be looking for as he moves on this season, and what some suggestions I have for the Charlotte Hornets and Lamelo Ball. Let's get into it.
And I'm hanging out with my dude, AB the Hero, so we getting it down in the ball state, baby.
Hey, AB, way to get out on the lane. Way to get out on the lane.
What do you thought about that, Jay?
I like that. Yeah, I told you, he's a hustler for it.
Let's go. I'm out.
All right, before we get into this breakdown, shout out to my dog Ballfax, who actually pulled up in Cleveland to watch Melo's first game. And even though Melo didn't score any points in this game, that's still something dope to do, man. Shout out to him. But let's get this thing started. So as we talked about earlier, the man Melo, 0 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Now, to me, just off the jump, I think that whatever the Hornets told him after that first game when he gave them 10 boards, they need to bring that back and say, you know what, bro, just go ahead and play your game, rebound it, and get out and run. Because I think that that's what's missing the mostly from his game, is that when you allow him to catch those boards, he then has more of an opportunity to start a break or push the pace. And so pulling him off the boards is slowing that down. And I think that he's one of those guys who, if you allow him to do something, to rebound, to be involved in the game in some way, it'll affect his offense and defense in a positive way. So I think that that's the number one thing that I want the Hornets to take away from this, is let my dog rebound. Let him get back on the boards. All right, so now let's look at his game. We're going to look at the offensive side from outside in. Now, my man took 5 shots on the night. So for me, I say do not be alarmed about his offensive output, because he only took 5 shots in 16 minutes of play. That's not a lot of shots in an NBA game. And when you consider that one of those shots came from half court, buzzer beater, ending the third quarter, to me, that's also some more reason to not really be too alarmed about the shots that he took. Now, if we look at the 3-point shots, excluding the one that he took from half court, attempted 2 threes, 1 in the first quarter, 1 in the third quarter. And the shots that he took were not bad shots, but they were shots that I believe that are set up for guys who you think are dynamos, have the green light to just knock down threes. And when you run those type of motions, because they were basically a little screen and roll situation with Bismack Biyombo, where then he stopped and took the wide open 3, or not wide open, but I'll say a pretty decently uncontested 3-point shot. Those are the shots that you give to guys like Steph Curry and stuff who you know are going to be bananas from behind the arc. And with the understanding that you just don't give him 2 of those, you got to work it up, and you got to, if you're going to give him those, he needs 5 shots, right? Because to me, I think to have the green light in the NBA, you have to be shooting 2 for 5 from behind the arc, right? So if you're going to come off that screen and pull up, no assist, no pass to you, then you have to knock down 2 out of 5 of those. So the fact that he only took 2, to me, speaks to me wanting for him to have a bit of grace with that, right? Because I think that if you give him 3 more of those same motions, I believe that he knocks down at least 1 to 2 of the next 3 shots, which ends up being a decent percentage, right? And if you knock down, I believe, 2 out of 5 shots, that's about 40%. Melo, I believe, is a guy who is going to have to shoot, for every 5 threes that he takes, he's going to have to knock down like 1.5 of them. That'll put him at about a 30% shooting from behind the arc on the year. And I think if he does that, it'll be a success from him behind the arc for this season. I think that if you watch guys like Terry Rozier, who honestly had a similar night to Melo in the respect that in the first quarter he took I think 5 shots. Didn't shoot at any. Didn't make any shots in the second quarter. Didn't attempt any shots in the second quarter at all. And then, but the difference is Terry Rozier in the third and the fourth kind of went ballistic. And if you really compare the shots that Terry took to the shots that Melo took, those are the shots that Terry has shots that you would want to heat up your shooter, right? A driving kick. Both of Terry's original 2 3-pointers in the first quarter came off of assists from Gordon Hayward. Both of Melo's came up with him dribbling it up, getting a screen from Bismack Biyombo, and then pulling up like that. You got to be Steph Curry type shooter, right? And so as we've seen, a lot of Terry's shots throughout the night were shots that allowed him to heat up, and then in the end of the game, going into the end of the fourth quarter is where we seen him begin to start getting those screens from Bismack and then pulling up in that way. But pretty much throughout the entire game, most of his threes came, and he knocked down 10 of them, came off of assists, and then he got hot at the end, and like I said, he went ballistic. There's something to think about. If you move closer to the basket, Melo attempted 2 shots in the paint. To me, I am not as concerned about those either, because in watching them, both of them were contested by JaVale McGee, who is a 7-foot monster, shot blocker, contester of shots. That's kind of like what he's known for. If you look at a guy like Anthony Edwards, who played a lot of good basketball last night as well, you'll see that the contesting of a lot of his shots in the paint, where none of them were contested like Lamelo's. And I think that in the NBA, there is some stingy defense, right? But oftentimes there's a lack of defense, especially when you get in the paint. If you look at some of the shots that Colin Sexton had last night, he had a damn near freeway to the lane at points. So I believe that it's still the same thing. I think Melo's season is going to be a numbers game. One of the things that I always commend him for in his play throughout his career is his ability to be unconscious when hooping. And what I mean by that is missing a shot here, missing a shot there, and then still having the confidence to continue to shoot. I think that one of the things that I think hurt Lonzo, and I hope Melo doesn't fall into this, and there were no signs of this in the preseason, but there's something about playing in the NBA where you understand that this is now a business. So throughout your entire career, this is fun. You're playing and you're fighting for an opportunity. And now once you're in the NBA, you are holding on to all of this money. There's a lot weighing at stake now once you're in the NBA and you got all these cars and mortgages. You know what I mean? So I think that it takes a game that is normally fun and turns it into something that is a job all of a sudden. And when you're not doing well, it's easier for you to get down on yourself, and especially when you are not the guy who everyone expects to go and bring us back in the game where we're losing, right? So you watched this game last night where the Hornets are down by a lot, and a guy like Melo, who is a rookie coming off the bench, doesn't have the green light to say, you know what, bro, here's the ball, bring us back. We've seen him do that many times in his career, and that is something that is not on his table. They're not asking him to do that. So for you as a rookie, you go 0 for 5, and even if you have the confidence, you may find yourself in a situation in which the coaches are like, all right, bro, now you're not shooting anymore tonight. So I think that I am not so much concerned. The man played 16 minutes, came off the bench, and didn't do a lot of the things that I believe I know he can do, right? When we talk about his game, we say, yo, this man is should be a double-double, a walking double-double, if not a walking triple-double. And it feels like they pulled him off the boards, are not allowing him to really run in transition like that, because obviously he's not boarding at the way that he was in that first game. So it's hurting his assist a bit. And then when you look at the action that they're running for him in the offense, when it does happen, a lot of that is screens where that end up with him taking a 3 off the screen. I think that you compare that to his first couple NBA threes where when somebody else was running motion and kicked it to him in the corner and he knocked down those threes. I think that him attacking the basket off of that is going to be a solid situation for him, and I think the consistency at the rim will be not an issue, especially not the same way that we've seen with Lonzo kind of in his first couple of seasons. But this your main man, AB the Hero. I am out. Peace.